And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, located in Cheviot, Ohio, right on Harrison Avenue. They are in the Dora District, so you can walk around from bar to bar with your drinks. When you're not walking around, they've got 27 TVs, 3 facing outside, a 9-screen video wall. As long as you're not in the bathroom, there's not a bad seat in the house. They subscribe to every sports package that DirecTV offers. They can stream all the games, and Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. They've got food trucks. Check for availability there. And a brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines. And not only do they pour the coldest beer around, but they pour it in 32.8-degree beer frosted glasses. All right, let's get this show on the road. How you doing, Aaron?
Well, I hit the trifecta today. I was changing a dirty diaper. And as I was changing said dirty diaper, it was number 2, not number 1 on the 2-month-old. Yeah. Changing the dirty diaper. And then she puked on herself. So I'm in the middle of cleaning both of those things up. Then she peed all over herself, which at that point I just picked her up and put her in the kitchen sink and rinsed her off because I lost.
And now you can never use the kitchen sink again. Now you have to get a new kitchen sink.
Every battle. I lost the entire war.
Did the 2-year-old hit her with anything?
Not today. Today we survived that.
Good. You're downstairs, so you don't know what's happening right now.
They're correct. But we did have 3 shots and an oral vaccine on the 2-month-old today, so quite a bit. Big day.
Yeah. For some reason, the dogs are losing their mind. I don't know what's going on, but
it's great.
Yeah, their timing is always impeccable.
Well, the good news is it is a special Thursday episode of Talking About Talkin. I'll go ahead and filibuster for you while the dogs lose their shit. But we did have interviews today with Brendan Sorsby, Brady Lichtenberg, and Pete Thomas. I watched all 3. I have thoughts.
I was there for all 3.
That's
Did you like my question to Lichty? First off,
which one?
He was talking about. They asked him if he was faster than people thought he was.
Oh, sneaky.
Are you sneaky athletic?
I have it in my notes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to. Go ahead. Did you watch Pete Thomas today?
I watched all 3.
Perfect.
Brendan Sorsby, though, said that higher ground, it's his first time. He said it does help build the connection, get rid of the distractions. He's so diplomatic with his answers. They were very
quarterback.
But they were Lichtenberg actually gave you personality. Sorsby gave you robotic quarterback answers. Like, he's NFL ready as far as the interview questions go. It's absurd. Said that the line is allowing him to work through his progressions. It's gotten better since last year. He's comfortable throwing both outside and over the middle. Feels like his knowledge has improved from that 6 or 7 that it was after the spring game to an 8 or a 9 at this point. Says that the run game should help with taking shots down the field. He is still working on hand signals, but has enjoyed the headset signals. He was asked to give 3 receivers names who have shown the most flash, and he said Xavier Henderson and Jamoy and Tony, Tyron, and Aaron as his 3rd.
He gave 5.
He did do that. Again, just diplomatic. He wasn't singling anybody out. Like, come on, man.
Right. And it aligns with what we've talked about. Xavier Henderson is the number 1 guy on the boundary. Jamoy Mays and Tony Johnson are battling it out for that number 1 spot opposite.
Is Jamoy emerging as the front runner at this point? Because both quarterbacks mentioned him. Only Sorsby mentioned Tony.
Tony had a really good day today, but he had been a little quiet. Like, he was still okay, but his name wasn't down in the notebook as much. Jamoy Mays has been making plays since camp started. So, Tony's going to have that advantage of being here sooner. but Jamoy is gaining steam. And that's why I think that's probably a 1A, 1B, or they're very close if it's not 1A, 1B right now. And then we talked about those two guys in the slot. Tyron Smith has been very good. Aaron Turner has made a lot of plays. So those two positions, there's two guys at each, and then in the slot, you're still talking about Barry Jackson, and outside, Evan Prater and Michael Massari. Those guys have made plays too. So there's a lot of weapons for those two guys. But yeah, Jamoy Mays is climbing. He's climbing my draft board.
Stock is rising. Buy now. Yeah. Buy now.
Buy
now. Sorsby also mentioned that going against the 3 safety look should make going against what normal defenses
2
easier.
Safeties, yeah.
Once they get to that point. I think it was Scott who asked him about his baseball angles, trying to compare him to Patrick Mahomes. He did say that it helps him, especially when he's on the move. It can kind of allow him to do some things on the move that he wouldn't necessarily have been able to do had it not been for the baseball
background. Drop down. Like if he's got a guy coming at him, you'll see him drop down,
sidearm stuff,
a little sidearm flick. Nothing like crazy, but just the different use. That's probably where Scott got that from. Is
right.
There have been some times that we've seen him kind of move that release point.
And then mentioned that the tight end room is interesting because you don't have you have the old guys, you have the young guys, you don't really have anything in between. But the old guys have been really helping out the young guys, and he's actually really excited about that room. So those are all the things I had on Sorsby. I don't know if you have anything additional to add.
No, I mean, yes, he's diplomatic, but I do like the way he carries himself. There's a confidence there that, like, NFL quarterback, right?
Because he's NFL ready. I wasn't necessarily trying to knock him. It's just he's not giving you any more than what you're asking, really. Like he's been trained well to answer the question and only the question. And I want to see. I guess I want to see some more glimpses into his personality. I feel like we're not getting to know Sorsby yet as far as the interviews go.
That probably will come with more of a sit down or like one-on-one type deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just an observation.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like I'm not disagreeing with your observation by any stretch of the imagination.
Brady Lichtenberg, 1B. If you're looking at Sorsby as your 1A, says that the team feels way more connected this year between the players and the players, even at higher ground, before higher ground. The coaches and the players, due to like how hands-on the coaches have been this offseason, specifically through the strength program. He says personally he is more confident. Things are slowing down. He said that he's been kind of in his own head a little bit prior to this season, where he was taking the competition probably a little too personally. And now he said that the competition is bringing out the best of both he and Sorsby, as they have been encouraging each other and just trying to make every day their best day. Did mention that he is sneaky fast, as you have alluded to. When asked about his athleticism, I loved his answer where he said, that depends on what you think is athletic.
Like, how athletic do you think I am?
Turn it back around on you.
It's the age old, like,
media.
He's a gym rat. He's a coach's son. He's sneaky athletic. He's white. Like, he's white. That's
also said that both quarterbacks actually raved about Samaj and the progress he's made already.
Yeah.
Said that Samaj has a cannon. He has the stuff that you can't teach.
I mean, his arm is I talked to Pete about it, and I'm sure you'll get to this in a minute.
Yeah.
Like he got to develop a changeup. Like right now, he's got a fastball.
Yep.
And it's fast. Like he's Hunter Green out there throwing, when Hunter was young. Just gas. Well, sometimes the guy is 5 feet away from you and you don't need to throw it through his hands. You don't have to try to break his fingers.
Brady also mentioned that the depth of receiver is very different this year. And the 3 guys that he mentioned were Aaron Turner. He said he was going to go more than 3, and he did not. He left it at 3. Said that Aaron Turner, Tyron Smith, and Jamoy Mays were his guys. He said that this season, Pete has emphasized just play football, And he said to him that is just being out on the field and trusting what he sees and then acting on it, as opposed to breaking down film for hours and hours and hours and then going out onto the field and being more so that's changed a little bit for him this season. Says he has all the confidence in the world in the line, up to 7 or 8 that will play. And then he went on to rave on Gavin, but said that essentially all 5 starters are leaders in their own right on this team. And I think that's what we all kind of expected at this point. But
it is a vocal group. Like watching them operate this year, there's a lot more confidence. There's a lot more belief. Guys aren't learning each other. These guys are starting to assert themselves a little more. And you've heard Kandra. Kandra's phenomenal as a speaker and, or like leader type. Gavin has gotten a ton better being comfortable and, fitting into that role, being a little bit more assertive. Because he was behind, like Renfro was awesome when Gavin was young.
He was a dude.
And yeah. So, he's evolved into that. And look, I love D'Artagnan Tinsley. Like, go back and watch the interview with him from Nippert last week. And you're like, damn, that guy's got shit together. So I love that group. John Williams, John was a quiet guy. And he's even kind of come out of his shell a little bit.
And then the freshmen that have been standing out on defense to Brady, he said Simeon's gotten the public hype, but we've talked about it here on this network plenty. Jaquan Sanks standing out as a freshman. And I did want to mention something on that. People talk about how recruiting has been down or whatever they want to say.
All of these freshmen are making plays.
Well, Jaquan Sanks was the lowest rated incoming freshman on the list, if I'm not mistaken.
He was down there. Yeah.
So give it time. Pump the brakes before you're judging that'd be like judging a draft class at OTAs.
Right. Let's find out if these guys are good at what they were brought here to do. Like Jack and Zach and Carter and Cass. One of the reasons they were here is because they have a great reputation as scouts, as guys that know how to evaluate talent. Can we find out if they're any good at it before we run them off out of town and force them to go somewhere else because everybody shits on the job they do all the time?
They had 6 weeks to get it done last year.
Anywho,
indeed. And then Pete, he said that speaking about the quarterback competition, said that both guys are making plays, both aren't perfect. That was really all he said on the quarterback competition itself. Said that Samaj is very talented, playing really well for a true freshman, and they are certainly working on his touch. Also said that he agrees that Sorsby is not all the way on the playbook, but it's put in a ton of work in the summer. Says that the depth in the receiver room is nice to have compared to last season. He didn't draw a direct comparison to last season, but it was certainly inferred in the way that he, again, quarterback, diplomatic in the way that he's making his approach. Said that Sorsby does draw some similarities to Josh Allen. Said that the slot receivers and tight ends have made throwing over the middle easier. He is more comfortable with literally everything, from the being in Cincinnati to higher ground to Big 12 to figuring out what they need to be prepared for this season, this second year around, which I'd be terrified if he did not answer the question that way.
Right.
And then said that again, just reiterating what had been said by the quarterbacks, just that this defense should help development when they start seeing normal defenses again. So it seems that everybody's excited to see 2 safeties in real time than to see the 3 safety. Like he said, I think he said it sounded like, or it feels like there's sometimes 13 guys back there,
right,
on this defense. So.
And that's one of the reasons Iowa State went to it. That's one of the reasons this defense was even created, is because teams were throwing the ball all over the place. So you needed to make it feel like there's more guys out there than there actually was. And that's right. How they were able to accomplish it. So, yeah.
So Sounds like the quarterback competition, though, is picking up steam.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I still would be surprised if it's not Sorsby when the season starts. But I've written this, and like it's what we're seeing play out. Lichty is having a good camp, and like if they're gonna crack the door open, the only way you can kick it open is to go out and play well. Like you can say, and we've seen this before here. I'm not going to name any names or time frames, but there's a quarterback competition, and then you watch it every day, and you're like, there's not a quarterback competition. Like we know who the starter is going to be. I still think Sorsby's going to be the guy, but hats off to Lichtenberg for going out and having a good spring, having a good summer, and then coming into camp ready to compete and make it hard to make that decision. Like that's his job, right?
That's all you can do.
Make this decision incredibly difficult, as difficult as possible. The only way you do that is by playing well, and he's done that so far.
Lichtenberg's not stupid either. He knows that when you're bringing in a guy like Sorsby, that it's not the job's not given to him, but they're letting him test drive the car, right?
Sure.
So
here's the keys, and they didn't ask for him back. So yeah, but hats off to Lichty. He's playing his butt off so far. I love this. And guess what that also does? Even if he doesn't win the job, it makes him better and it makes Sorsby better because he's being pushed and challenged.
It also means that if anything does happen to Sorsby, God forbid, that everything is in a better place.
Right. So, yeah. I still think it's going to be Sorsby, but Lichty's at least making you think about it. And I love Lichty. Like he's such a good dude. So I want to see him do well. I want to see him have success. And it's good to see him having a great camp to kind of make this a race.
Good on him.
That's the thing, Aaron. Coaches can say it all they want. There's a quarterback competition. No, there's not. Unless both guys are playing well at a high level, then there's a quarterback competition, right? Like then if one guy's playing here and the other guy's playing here, the coach can get in front of a microphone and say there's quarterback competition, but nobody that's watching practice believes him. Both guys are playing pretty well. So yeah, the gap's not as wide as people were maybe anticipating coming into the spring or coming into the camp. And that's because Lichty has gone out there and played well.
There's more gray than just black and white.
Yes. All right. It's going to wrap it up. We'll be back. We'll have something Saturday after the scrimmage. I'm not sure exactly what, but we'll have something. We'll see you next time. That's the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!